Another day, another feature standard in the genre missing in Splatoon. And this time, it's an even more crucial feature. It's party matchmaking and custom games. Now, if you take a look at nearly all the shooter games on the Xbox and PlayStation that have gained a lot of popularity and have been the most played games on their respective systems, you'll notice one of the things they all have in common is that they have both party matchmaking and custom games. Now, party matchmaking is where you and a few online friends can go into matchmaking as a group and search for games and get into matches. While custom games are features that allow you to create your own game on your console with your own settings and host it. Now, one franchise known for custom games was the Halo franchise, which allowed a great deal of customization when it came to setting up your own custom game lobby, even to the point where you could create your own maps with Forge, where there were some maps which were just empty spaces that you could move around stuff in, and you could do that and make your own maps with that. And that became real popular, especially with custom game types and weird game types too. I mean, even though it did not allow modding, people still made various game types that were entirely custom because the game allowed just that much flexibility. And of course, when the Master Chief Collection came out with Forge having only one game mode and not being able to switch them, this was criticized and eventually it got patched back in. Now, however, Splatoon is launching with these features not being standard, and with these features being patched in August. Now, this is a bad thing for the game's longevity, and let me explain why. Last year, around the same time, a game called Titanfall was released on the Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC, and it got lots of hype. I mean, there was so much hype for that game, it was ridiculous. But then it finally came out. And one of the major flaws with this game was the fact that it lacked features that were standard on shooters from other companies, including games made by the company that Respawn employees used to work at, Infinity Ward. Call of Duty 4, for example, had custom games and party matchmaking, while Titanfall did not have custom games whatsoever, and it got added later in a patch. And by the time the game had it added, the game's community had died off. The PC version even lacked player-run dedicated servers, something that another game from the same publisher, Battlefield 4, had. But at the same time, this is also a bad thing because it proves Nintendo is no different than the companies that the gaming media and message board gamers like to criticize. By now, we all know about the famous Miyamoto quote about how a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Well, ever since Nintendo found out what patching is, now they're releasing Splatoon without key features in place. Various other gaming companies have shipped games with these features out of the box available on day one, and yet Splatoon, on the other hand, has to have them patched several months after the game comes out. But you know the worst part for Splatoon? The game has competition. You see, The Witcher 3 is coming out a week or two before Splatoon, and that game has a lot of hype from the people who aren't buying only Nintendo branded games. And I have the feeling that outside the people who only play games with the Nintendo logo on them, that The Witcher 3 is going to be remembered a lot more. And that's all I really have to say. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more. Oh, and did I mention that The Witcher 3 is not available on outdated consoles or Walmart laptops? That's all I have to say.